Ntuzuma was one of the areas ravaged by floods. 29-year-old Lungani Kanyile, whose house was washed away, is one of more than 200 people who sought refuge at this community hall. He's been living in a tent on the premises. When the SABC visited the site, Kanyile was busy trying to move his tent to a dry spot to protect his few belongings, as the water was seeping into the tent after it rained. Kanyile is keen to go home to his family in Melmoth in northern KwaZulu-Natal, but he says he fears missing out on a placement in a better shelter.
I was visiting home, but I had to come back because I had to take care of my belongings as the tent was not locked. I might lose them. We were promised that we will be moved, but we do not know when that will happen.
Residents say the tents are a health hazard. Nomthandazo Mthembu says her 2-month-old baby girl suffers from the unbearable heat in the tent.
The
situation is bad for my child because the tent can be so hot and her skin is sensitive. She ends up having skin problems, and when it's raining, it also affects us in these tents.
Winnie Kumede says this will be a sad Christmas without family and friends.
We also need our places as it's now Christmas time. We had families that were visiting us in our home, but now they can't come here. When we are in this space with other people, even when we are cooking. We no longer use gas because we don't have it. We improvise with making fire to cook.
She's also concerned about not being able to make plans for the new school year, as she doesn't know where she'll end up staying. Local volunteers are concerned that food donations from relief organizations are dwindling.
I started here with a lot of energy, assisting them as they used to have everything. It was easy for me to open the storeroom when it was time to cook, as there was food. Now everything has run dry, as we no longer have any donors.
Authorities have struggled to find land for temporary residential units and have only set up 1,600 units of the 4,300 units originally planned, and government has managed to find housing for less than half of the 4,000 people displaced by the floods, with more than 2,300 people still living in community shelters. Government's end of November deadline for finding housing for all the displaced people has now been moved to the 15th of December. Londi Khatebe, SABC News, Durban.